Hi everyone, and welcome to day 5 of Katbat to Da Nang by foot. Everything went fine today. This was my morning coffee. Not as exciting as the traditional Vietnamese coffee, but coffee is coffee. And I have had to ditch my existing bag because it's falling apart with bits of metals coming out of it, etc. I could make a whole episode just about the bag aspect, but it might not be super interesting. So I deliberately took a longer route today, and it immediately paid off. As you can see, here we're in a very idyllic and beautiful, stunning Vietnamese village. This pond is just so dreamy with the algae floating around, and the plantations and farming look much more scaled for like a small patch of inhabitants, and these are all fields that are farmed by hand, which I think is just a delight really, rather than kind of this mass farming that we saw earlier with plastic wrapped fields, etc. So from a walking perspective, this is slightly longer than going to Nam Dinh, which is a bit more to the northwest of where I am right now. But it was a conscious decision because I knew that walking along the river would be so much nicer than just walking along a main road. More kids, as always. I purchased a Rubik's Cube, and I'm stupid. I should have taken my cube with me just to keep myself busy as I'm walking. The cube is completely unusable. It's really cheap, and I don't think that kid will ever figure it out because it didn't come with a manual, obviously, and it's too hard to turn. So, but always nice messing around with the kids, and they're always being mischievous and stuff. So it's kind of entertaining. Walking along the river was really, really rewarding with lots of... these are more like fields than the river. I didn't have enough battery to film all the stuff that I wanted today, but still nice and thrilling. Lots of cattle, lots of bulls, which can sometimes be a little bit scary. Lots of wild dogs, not wild dogs actually, domesticated dogs, but they can act a bit crazy. This is a farmer, a banana field farmer, and he stopped me. We got into a chat. We figured out that we were both 37. He showed me that the crossing for the ferry is 3 kilometers away, and then he asked me for my Facebook name, so I wrote down my name, and then he drew the face, so I showed him my avatar on Facebook. And I found it really trippy that in 2019 you get stopped by someone, you can't speak the same language, and therefore you write down your Facebook with I don't know. I just found it amazing. So that was the ferry crossing, and some churches being I don't know if it's being worked on or demolished. Worked on, I would imagine. I need to figure out sort of the meaning of what's written there, and also the origin of these churches, essentially. Because it looks Catholic to me, but I don't really know much about these things. So made the crossing, and very nice little villages and extremely sweet people along the way. This is a Vietnam War veteran who stopped me. He was trying to stop me for tea and stuff. I conceded on his third attempt. He showed me his bullet wounds. He showed me some serious gashes that he's got on his body and stuff. The war vets basically wear full military uniform, and they go around and they have a huge sense of pride, and it's really obvious that they still have a role in society, and they feel lots of pride for what they've given for their country. And if you compare that with the veterans in the USA, I think there's a kind of big stark contrast and a bit of a takeaway there as well. Today 30 kilometers again. Now 30 kilometers is starting to feel like my the foundation of what I'm doing, because I'm doing it every day now, and in a way I feel like I can start challenging myself by adding more, and making 30 kilometers kind of my base. So the basic thing on which I can build. I did get my first blister today, and obviously my goal now is to go and get some disinfectant and go and get a plaster and make sure that it doesn't get infected. I know that infected blisters is basically one of the things that can stop walking trips. So I'll make sure that doesn't happen in this case. And I'm glad I didn't go to Nimdin. I'm glad I took the path that I did, and hopefully tomorrow it looks like I should be able to just make it straight to Ninh Binh. And since I'm 27 kilometers ahead of schedule, I think I'm going to give myself the time to go and see these UNESCO sites, which are supposed to be absolutely incredibly beautiful. And there's even some rainforests in the Ninh Binh area, etc. I've had a quick look and I've got a basic idea of what I want to do, and we'll see what I end up doing. I don't want to add too much delay, but maybe I can just equalize my time and see some nice stuff before pushing south.